Hi everyone, I'm Eugene from Off the Ground, and I'm here with Chloe and Alefiya from 32 Pages. So we could just get them to introduce themselves and to share with us a bit more about what 32 Pages is about.
Okay, hi, I'm Alefiya, and I'm currently doing a double major in psychology and English literature, and that's kind of perfect for me to be doing 32 pages because of that, because we actually use storybooks to improve the social emotional resilience of children. Yeah, so it's kind of like the perfect niche for me. Yeah.
Alright, that's great.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm a geography student. Because of my geography obsession of spaces, I think 32 Pages is an avenue for me to create learning spaces for children to really express themselves and also understand more about how they can become more resilient learners. It's really giving children that space to, do whatever they want actually. So we do that through stories and experiential learning. So these stories are about resilience, belonging, and relationship. Yeah.
So actually, how did this whole project start? Yeah, like what was the impetus?
How did it start? It started because of my lived experience growing up. I realized that a lot of the mental health challenges I face in my adulthood, which is right now, might not have surfaced as badly if I had the social emotional competencies if we actually talked about emotions back then when I was a child. And I think it's not so much like that my mom didn't do a good job then, it was more of like she didn't have the tools and resources to do it. I think that's why I want to get young children started on their SEL journey, social emotional learning journey. But I think through this entire process, I've learned that parents are generally more receptive now. And that's what keeps me going. It's very different from what I had. I'm like 22 now. When I was a child, it's like really very different from what's happening now. Yeah, but I think the goal still stays the same. Building up children's capacity. It's not about I don't want mental health education to be about preventing an illness. More of being more about enhancing what you already have. Yeah.
So is this kind of why you guys decided to work with preschoolers, like this particular age group of preschoolers to lower primary students?
That, and also because parents then are generally more receptive. That's when they're still in the play phase.
Yeah.
So we have more leeway. It's easier to reach parents because ultimately you have certain things certain agendas, certain things that you want to impart to community, but you also need to think about what the community needs are. Yeah. And when kids, I think when they go to P3, P4, right, that's when they're more academic focused. Yeah. So it doesn't really make sense to do it then also.
It's so sad that it's so early that we become academic focused.
Especially for math. I think a lot of children for P3, right, I know they struggle with math, and then that's when the intensive classes come in. Yeah.
Over the past few months of working with children, I think you guys definitely gotten some interesting stories and experiences to share about working with certain children. Maybe in one of the sessions that you've had. So I guess what is one most memorable experience that you guys have had so far with any of the children?
Oh my
that you've worked
God.
with?
Oh, there's so many. I cannot think.
I'll
1 hour.
I can start with this. I think at the start it was really me just doing whatever I wanted to kids. I was very gender focused. Hi, you're gonna learn more about self-awareness today. You're gonna learn about emotions, and therefore you will be able to articulate these 5 emotions by the end. But it doesn't work like that. So I went in. I went to the class, and then there was just this kid that I think she was engaged. She liked the story about the itchy bear, but just kept running around. And I realized that you really have to understand your community first. And I really understand how working with children is not just, it's a lot
But I think it's quite fun as well. What Chloe said, right? For us, it was especially difficult because when you're on this side of it, when you're the facilitator, and we're already oriented into thinking in KPIs, what will be the outcome for the children? Yeah, that was us last year. And that was back when the pandemic was on and was online. So one of our first sessions we ever had was online. And we were doing this activity called an emotional wheel. Okay, but long story short, it's just a piece of paper we gave the kids, and it's just a bunch of emotions all colored together and things like that. And the activity was for them to kind of point to an emotion, be this is how I feel when this happens. Okay, and in the middle of the session, we're just holding up this paper, and on video, one of the students, like one of the girls, just brought out her pet lizard and started talking about the pet lizard. Okay. And it was the randomest thing that's happened to me. You know, one moment she's like, yeah, yellow is a happy emotion. And then the next moment she's like, this is my pet lizard. Its name is what was it?
I can't remember.
Yeah, and Chloe and I were both stunned because we had no idea what to do. And when kids start talking, they really don't stop. You know? She was like, yeah, she just lies there all day. Then in 2 months, she will remove all her skin. And then the skin will be in one side of the cage and the lizard will be on the other side of the cage.
So it kind of went meta afterwards. It was more of like creating spaces for children to express themselves. And being like told that it's okay to
Yeah.
So it just becomes like an open space.
Because I feel a lot of adults are very obsessed with keeping kids on track, you know, like, you know, this is what we're going to do, so we're going to do it. And then we decided it's fine, like, just let them do what they want, right?
But we're still struggling to balance because ultimately you still want programs that like still teach them something, right? We're still finding that balance. But we realized that it has to be more unstructured and driven by the child than us. So basically there's an entire lesson that we've learned throughout like our entire journey. Just one single lesson.
Alright, that's great. Yeah. I guess since you guys have really benefited the children a lot through the storytelling that you guys have gone through and whatever activities that you've had, do you think that you've learned anything from the children themselves?
Oh my god. Yeah. So much.
Yeah. You start first. I can't begin.
Honestly, like just the whole concept of like we should have like an outcome or something like that. Like we just gave up on it after a certain point because we realized it was just about going with the flow, you know, making things, just do what you want. Yeah, and I think for me personally, I really feel like a kid again when I'm with them as well, you know. Like sometimes like they just start singing randomly and you don't want to stop them. You kind of want to go with them and be like, you know what, this wasn't planned, but let's do it. Yeah. And I think just the way they think is so interesting, you know, like they connect the randomest things from one thing to the other and they don't really care what the connection is, you know. They just want to just do it. Like they won't like jump from one pebble to the other and look back and think, oh, where did this come from? They're just like, next one, where is it?
For me, it's like understanding the potential in little moments. Like sometimes we think that learning should look a certain way, but actually learning comes in like many different forms. And sometimes when you talk to them, they learn also. And they play with the whatever that was, like the loose parts just now. They learn stuff. Like I think I saw this kid. Then they were counting the shelves even though that was not part of the plan. Stuff like that. And they learn how to talk to other people also.
I was just gonna say that, like the reason he started counting the shelves was because I was like, oh, you have more shelves than me. And he was like, really? Let's count about it. It's just like about, they just express, you know, like don't be scared to be like, oh, if you want something, like kids really, if they want something, they just ask for it. You know, they don't really feel any like shame or anything. They're like, you know, we'll be in the middle of reading a story and they'll be like, I want to talk about my lizard. Talk about it, you know, who's gonna say no? It's that fear of no that comes in much later and we don't want them to have that fear.
No, but the fun thing is also these are great teachable moments. Like if you've seen the session just now, I think Alefiya told the kid to like show appreciation, make the intentions clear. So it's not just like expression, yes lah, but we also do guide them on how we can do it productively and build meaningful relationships in the process. So all these are great teaching SEL moments. I feel.
So I guess it like hits a learning outcome that isn't really planned for, but is done because you guys have allowed the children to have more open conversations. And just express themselves freely.
Like for us, I think the learning outcome went away from let them identify, express emotion to just create a space where they can do that.
Because it's very artificial also. When you ask them to like, oh, when do you feel sad? I don't even remember when I feel sad. Okay, I do that, but it's very hard for me to articulate.
And it's difficult to talk about it, especially as a kid. It's more about like creating an atmosphere. It's the little moments that count rather than, you know, like the actual process itself after a while.
I guess going through this entire journey of starting your own grown-up initiative or this project, it's been quite difficult, right? So do you have any advice for people who would like to start their own initiative as well in the social causes that they're interested in?
Some practical tips would be learn what's happening already. So we reached out to grown-up organizations like Sixth Sense and New Life Stories. So there are already people doing similar things out there lah. So you learn from them, learn what they're doing, learn how they do it, and learn what the challenges are, and then pick up from there. Yeah, and also second tip would be understanding what the community needs are. This one I don't think we did very well, but I think we started asking after we got participants lah. Then we asked like, why you come down? What do you expect? Stuff like that. So it's really always about the people, that you're serving lah. I think once you start doing that, then people will, you really start connecting with people because people realize that you do care. I think that's where that's how the passion continues also, because you're like, oh yeah, I'm making an impact on the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, putting all this effort to go down to the centres to interact with the children.
Sorry, can we pause the machine?
Yeah.
A bit hard.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome back. We're in the same location. So, moving on, the next question that I have for you guys is, how do you actually balance your schooling life, your university work with this volunteering project? Because, I mean, from what you have told us previously, it was quite a challenge to come up with so many lesson plans and to...
We
take this
don't.
time off.
Do we?
We don't.
Okay, next question.
Okay, no. I think got lah. Fair. Okay, so you start first.
I think it was very difficult in the first, especially like last year, I think in the summer break, right, we met up for, I think it was like a 4-hour meeting.
It was.
Okay, where we had like an Excel sheet, with different workbooks with different months, and on this day we're gonna do this, and it all fell through. Like, it didn't work, okay? I don't know if it's like, I feel a lot of articles, for startups, they're like, you should plan everything out, make sure you have like a structured plan that you're gonna follow, but it didn't work for us, we were just very, I don't know what happened, like, it was just very difficult to keep up.
Planning over execution, you should just execute, honestly. You should just execute.
Yeah, I think we were thinking too much as well. Yeah, so it was quite difficult for the first time, like the first semester. And then last semester we kind of took a step back. We decided to just do admin stuff over like semester. So we just emailed people, emailed authors and said, okay, we're going to do this. And then we just came up with a bunch of like low-key events that don't require us to really, do registration for every session, and then like every single thing that we have to plan out and collaborate with other organizations, right? So we just kind of, like you saw, turn up, read the kids a story, do an activity, and then go. Yeah. So I think it's okay now, but...
I think for me it's like knowing what your purpose here is. Because I'm writing an honors thesis on how children feel and experience spaces. So that ties in with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that helps me balance.
Yeah.
But I think that's quite extreme lah.
Yeah, maybe a bit, because it's not related to my academics, but I think what's really helped me over, like, especially the last semester was just you have to have it in your head, it's not a hobby. It's something that you actually have to actively focus on and think about and wonder what you're doing. Like, I'm not saying let it take over your life, but definitely you need to have this kind of thought about it. You have to focus on it in some way or the other. Yeah.
So I guess what motivates you guys to continue to do this project is the fact that it's rewarding. It's a rewarding experience.
It's difficult, I won't lie. Like, it's not like walk in the park, even though,
I think it's not just rewarding in the, I'm helping someone way. It's like you're learning something new about how to engage children every day. I think that's what's rewarding for me also. And also, it helps me make sense of my childhood. So it's like that continuous understanding that makes it rewarding for me. Yeah.
So moving on, maybe in the future, what can people expect from 32 Pages? What other programs are you guys planning?
Oh my god.
We play by ear actually.
Yeah.
So currently we're still figuring. I think we got a rough idea of our space. Like what space we're operating in, so like 5 to 8, probably narrow down to 5 to 6, but we're still learning about how to best engage children. What format do children want? So I'm really not sure yet.
But we do have upcoming sessions. We have sessions at NLB Sekang and then at Tiong Bahru FSC. Definitely looking to expand our presence and try to see what places need help and what places we can best help as well. Yeah.
So if if people see this video, which I'm sure a lot of people will, so what are the places or avenues that people can use to find you guys? Like what channels?
Yeah, so we have an Instagram, the handle is 32pages.sg. We have a LinkedIn, which is just 32 pages, and we also have a Telegram channel. If you manage to find it, great. Otherwise, QR code. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, yeah, thanks so much. We hope you guys
you.
have enjoyed this video, and yeah, we hope that you follow them and whatever 32 pages is working on next. Thank you so much. Bye.
My goodness.
Oh my god.